We've proven that as an industry, given the resources, we can deliver a great product. But the fact is, when the dollars go away, the condition of our system declines. And that's what our future is looking like. I've been talking for a number of years about our program was going to go off a cliff. I've also called our consulting engineers, engineering partners, as the canary in the mine. And that is, you're impacted first when you see our program go south, because the work dries up first for the consulting engineers. And I can tell you right now, the canary is on the bottom of the cage, because the program has already contracted in preparation for this declining program that we're looking at going forward. So we would have hit this year a program of about $460 million for awards in construction contracts. That was the cliff. We were headed for the bottom. And the one thing that's occurred has been, in fact, all this talk about a stimulus package. And the stimulus package for Missouri is coming at the perfect time, because it changes the cliff into now just a very steep hill. We still end up in the same spot, unfortunately, but now instead of just going off that cliff and hitting the rocks at the bottom, we're going to get this steep decline, steep hill, and it means we've delayed hitting the rocks for about a year and a half to 2 years. So that's the good news, right? But we're still headed for the same spot. It's just the trajectory that's changed. And I think we need to talk a little bit about the stimulus package. Now, if you talk to 50 people in Washington, D.C., or just about anywhere else, you will get 50 different explanations of what the stimulus package has in it and what they think it is ultimately going to produce. And so I was hoping that once the bills were introduced in Congress, we would have a better sense of where this is going. But the reality is even with the vote in the House yesterday, the Senate version is substantially different than the House version. So it's getting a little more muddled rather than clear as to what is going to come out of this stimulus package for any number of areas. But what is clear right now is that if you look at both versions, the House has $30 billion for highways and bridges, and the Senate version has $32.5 billion for highways and bridges. As you look at the dollars being talked about for transportation overall, and specifically highways and bridges, it is clear to me that the dollars being proposed do not live up to the rhetoric that preceded the stimulus package. The talk about we are going to fix America's crumbling roads and bridges, that we are going to make the greatest investment in infrastructure since the Eisenhower interstate investment. Those are not represented in this proposal. $30 billion for highways and bridges is about 65% of an annual appropriation to highways and bridges under the federal program. We are not going to fix America's crumbling roads and bridges with a $30 billion investment. This number, if we were going to make a major impact on the state of our system in this country, we need to be talking at least 2 to 3 times this level of investment to be able to see a difference. They have a very hard use it or lose it provision, and I hope it stays in the ultimate bill. Because what that means is that Missouri would be very likely to get a redistribution of formulas, because that's what's entailed in the use it or lose it. If a state doesn't have it obligated within 90 days, the dollars are to be withdrawn from all the states that haven't obligated it, and redistribute it to those states that have. And I can tell you, our intention at MODOT and at the Commission is that we're not going to lose a dime of these monies. And we want to get money from those states that have not been able to address this fast enough. I think many of you already know we've had 4 projects that they've already been advertised. That we've already opened the bids. And we're ready to award them as soon as the President signs the bill. The Commission has agreed to go into a special meeting whenever the President signs the bill to award those projects. We are approaching this very aggressively. We do not plan to let the intent of this program and the President's plan to put people to work, we don't plan to let them down on how this program is implemented.